mind since yesterday, and I waited a while because I was going to do a video last night about this. I was ticked off. Probably be a better rant video when you're really ticked off and you're down in the dumps about it. But I started getting tired. I had to go to bed, so I couldn't focus. Now I'm up kind of early. I'm getting ready to head over to Welcome Back Collectibles, hang out with him a little while. I got to mail some packages out. But I'm going to talk about my Goodwill that I work at now. Everybody knows that I got a job at Goodwill here recently. I did a video about it, going back to work and everything. Some things behind the scenes. Hey, if I get in trouble for doing a video and somebody sees it, so be it. It just irritates the living shit out of me. VHS selling there is really bad. There's like 2 or 3 shelves that has like books, VHS, DVDs, and they only give you a select amount of room for them. I think the DVDs are $1.49, the VHS are $1. And I don't know if every Goodwill does this, but this one does, and it irritates the shit out of me, especially when there's stuff that comes in and I see that I like to have. For one thing, I can't buy anything there. Like, not supposed to buy it. I can get fired for buying it. It's stupid. I have got a few things from there, but I have sent Rousey up there to pick it up. Yesterday was a different thing. She was off and everything, and I took the car because we only got one car. Went a bit a better day for her to have the car, so I could have called her to come up and get this stuff, but it didn't happen that way. So I have like 2 or 3 managers. One of them thinks VHS does not sell at all. He don't care to just chuck them in the trash. I used to call myself a collector, but since I started working there, I call myself a past preserver, because I want to preserve these tapes, whether I get them or not. Somebody else buy them or whatever, I do not want to chuck them in the trash. So yesterday I opened up a bag that had a bunch of tapes in it. Next thing I know, I was going through it. It was a lot of martial arts DVDs and VHS, mostly VHS. Some of them still sealed. There were some Bruce Lee ones in there. There was some Sonny Chiba stuff. There was some Jackie Chan. There was one Jackie Chan movie I had never heard of. There was some ninja movies. One of them was Ninja Terminator. I mean, the name of that is just out there. Another one was Shinobi Ninja. These looked great. They had some great artwork on them and stuff. But once you have so much out there on the shelf, if there's no room for none, and you get a big pile in like that, they want to throw them in the trash. So I pulled out the ones that I'd like to have, which I knew I couldn't get them, because there was about 15 or 20 of them. So I just said, you know what, once you price them, you got to price them. They can't really throw them away, because it goes through the computer, and it shows you your, you know, how much you price and stuff. You got to price so much, you know, during the day or whatever. So I priced them. And I put them in my buggy thing that I'm supposed to take out, and I put a bunch of other stuff in there. And I went to lunch. I came back. There's a guy that works beside me. He was like, man, you priced all the VHS. There's probably only room for 5 of them. I said, I don't care, man. I'm not just throwing these in the trash. You know, I got to put them out there. Maybe when I get off, if they're still there, maybe I could grab Rousey and we can run back up there and we can get them. Probably not. There was also a wrestling ring, which, you know, I've already got 2 or 3 rings. It's all right. I have 2 other rings when I first started. They ended up chucking them. That kind of ticked me off. This one had a little thing in the bottom of it you turn on, and it played. It had music and the crowd and the bell and all that crazy stuff, talking and stuff. It was pretty cool. I didn't really mind that no more because it's a newer one. If it was like an LJN or Hasbro ring, yeah, I would have been pissed off. So I put that in there. I know that goes quick. It didn't even get on the shelf. Some older guy said, hey, I'll take that. Can I go ahead and get that? I said, sure. I was pushing around. I don't know if he's a reseller or a collector. I doubt he was a collector. He looked like he was almost 60 years old. He could have been buying it for a kid or something. Who knows? But that one's not the big point. And there was also 2 vintage Dale Earnhardt hats in there, which I would have loved to grab for $1.49 a piece and resold in my store, because Dale Earnhardt stuff, especially vintage stuff, this was from 1994 when he won Winston Cup championship or whatever. So, you know, once he was there, I was like, you know, why not? Would you like to grab these? Give somebody a damn deal, you know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, I'll take them. And then he goes, what you got down there? And it's a bunch of martial arts movies. He picks up a few of them, talking about his son might like them or whatever. I didn't know his son was there. So I go ahead and his wife says, you know, just let him put them on the shelf. We'll look at them here in a little bit once he gets, you know. So he grabbed a few of them. And so I went around and I put them on the shelf and come back around, put some other stuff. Then I seen him and apparently his son was there. And they were looking through them and he was getting every one of them, was breaking my heart. But I'd rather somebody else buy them instead of throwing them in the trash. So anyway, he buys every one of them. All 15 or 20 of them. I don't know how many there was. He took every one of them. I don't know if he's a reseller or he just loves collecting movies and stuff. He did say he had a lot of horror movies and stuff. So maybe he was just a collector, which is great. Or a past preserver, like I'm calling myself now. Then I went back and told the one manager, hey, look, you said VHS don't sell. I took 15 of them or 20 of them out there, sold every one of them to one guy. And they want to keep like 15 or 20 Disney movies out there at all times that set out there and don't sell. Usually after about a week or two, if they don't sell, they got these stickers and the colors, they take all of them off and that's when they throw them away. And guess what they do? They just go back and they put more DVDs on the shelf, mainly for the DVDs. The VHS don't last that long. They don't want to keep them back there. They want to throw them away. Pisses me off. So anyway, I saved them by letting another collector get them, even though I couldn't get them. But it just ticks me off that I told him, I said, man, you're throwing away the past here. You know, sooner or later, it's every Goodwill throw these tapes away after a while. If they don't sell, you're just getting rid of the past, of the media past. You know what I mean? Another thing you won't see at my store, not all of them do it because they don't all have a website, but mine has a website and they send their stuff about 2.5 hours, well, about 2 hours up the road to Charleston. If it's like vintage, like video games especially, you won't see hardly no video games in my store. For some reason, you'll see Wii games, but if you see older games like 64 games or PlayStation 1 or I found a Burger Time NES game. Didn't even have the sleeve, didn't have the box, anything like that. They want to put it in there and they send it up there and they put it online for an auction. So you won't get no old cool stuff like that. And I think that's really shitty too. And I know people that collect video games around here and I've told them about them and they're like, man, that's stupid. Why are they going to do that? They should just price it up a little higher if you want to. I mean, still yet. This stuff's gave to you and you're going to put it on an auction site and stuff. And I kind of understand that because I've seen in the news here recently that somebody had donated a Legend of Zelda, still in the box, still sealed, still had the hanger thing on it from like the 80s, and it went on their website for $411,000. That's just crazy. If I was that guy, I wouldn't have done it anyway because I know what I had. Apparently, he didn't know what he had or whatever. Can you imagine the guy now? If he's crying about it, he could have got $500,000. But he wanted to donate it, so he donated it with a bunch of other stuff, apparently. So, preserving the past, VHS, especially VHS. But there's a lot of movies I end up having to throw away every week, and it really hurts my heart to throw them away. If I'd have done this video last night, I would have probably been a little bit more crazier and probably wanted to punch the screen and talking a lot of jive. But it's early in the morning. I thought about it when I went to bed last night. It's pretty bad. Because I watched a documentary called Video Hoarders, and it's talking about preserving the past and all this cool stuff. It would have been a lot worse if it was horror movies, but the martial arts ones was pretty cool too. And apparently people do collect them too, and like wrestling and all that stuff. That's just one thing I'm kind of ticked off about today. And if it keeps happening like that, I don't know how much longer I want to work there. I might want to work somewhere else because it's just, it's hard to see. It's hard to see somebody throw away some VHS. So I saved a few yesterday at least. And, you know, there's some other ones I could care less about movies, but still yet, like I said, sooner or later, after you keep throwing them and throwing them and throwing them away, VHS are finally going to be gone one day, maybe, but except for trading and selling between collectors, you know what I mean? I just never knew they threw shit like that away. That's just crazy. They need more space for VHS, because you got to give love to the VHS and the collectors. And I tell them about it, and they look at me like I'm stupid. But I sold the ones yesterday for them. I would have rather bought them and kept them. I didn't even want to sell them. I wanted to keep them for my collection because they were so cool. Didn't happen. Really sucked. That's my rant for today. Till next time.